Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for coming here this morning. I'm State Representative Brian Cutler, and I have the privilege of representing the 100th Legislative District in Southern Lancaster County. Today, I join my colleagues to continue our focus on how to reinvent government. This is something that came up during the budget process last year and was a lot of discussion. And while we had some opportunities to make better changes for better governance, economic prosperity, and stronger communities, we think that there is still plenty of additional work that can be done. As we ask all of the agencies, groups, and programs throughout the Commonwealth that receive funding from the state to review their policies and procedures to uncover possible cost savings and opportunities to do more with less, I think it only makes sense that we ask government to do the very same thing and take that same hard look at their own internal operations. It's about making changes to eliminate the duplication of services, and it would allow us to better focus and grow our economy, benefiting both Commonwealth residents and businesses by improving our business environment. We're searching for the very best ways to serve all Pennsylvanians, with the understanding that the same methods for years and using them simply doesn't work. It's time for change. It's time for us to look at how our government is functioning and transform it into a leaner, smarter version that is better suited for this century and not last. I'd now like to turn it over to Representative Frank Rein to talk about the areas that he has been working in.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you very much. I'm honored to be standing here with many of my distinguished colleagues who have looked at a different way of reinventing government. We firmly believe that we can provide a greater amount of service to the Commonwealth and to the citizens, and recognize that the citizens are our customer and not the bureaucracy. So I'm proud to introduce and discuss the Department of Business, Tourism, and Workforce Development. You know, it's been a recurring theme throughout every meeting that I've had with business leaders and candidly young people trying to find opportunities in the Commonwealth, that it's extraordinarily difficult to work its way through the myriad of regulations and processes. This reorganization in this Department of Business, Tourism, and Workforce Development puts the job creators with those in need of employment to create opportunities for the 21st century to reestablish the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as the place to live, work, and grow, so we can have the same opportunities for our children and our employers that others do. Our consolidation takes things such into play all of these trust funds that we have. A business consultant office would be created to serve as an agency to help others. With that, let me go ahead and turn it over to Representative Justin Walsh. He'll talk about the next form of the consolidation.
Good morning, and thank you guys for coming out this morning. I'm happy to stand here with several of my colleagues and an attempt to, as Representative Cutler indicated, reinvent government for the 21st century. I'm pleased to be the prime sponsor of legislation to consolidate the Commonwealth's workforce development system. Currently, workforce development programs are spread out across many state agencies, including the Department of Labor and Industry, the Department of Community and Economic Development, and the Department of Human Services. This leads to duplication of services and missed opportunities, both for prospective employers and those who are seeking to obtain employment. The current system makes it difficult for job seekers to know the programs they qualify for and where to go to access these programs. Employers are having problems finding qualified employees. The need for qualified and available workforce is one of the most common issues raised by employers who are seeking to expand or remain in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Currently, fewer than half of Pennsylvanians have college credentials or industry-recognized certifications. By 2025, it is expected upward of 60% of reliable, good-paying jobs will require these credentials. We must act now to improve services for job seekers and prospective employers, while providing a better value for the taxpayers who fund these programs. My bill would consolidate all workforce development programs under the direction of the Department of Community and Economic Development. This department is the best choice because it is tasked with keeping current employers in Pennsylvania and bringing new opportunities to the state. By consolidating the programs, we will be able to leverage the federal, state, and local resources already available to provide a simpler and more impactful system. I look forward to moving this proposal forward to benefit job seekers, employers, and the Pennsylvania economy. I now turn the podium over to my good friend and colleague, Matt Dowling, from parts of Fayette and Somerset counties.
Thank you, Representative Walsh, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. It's been my pleasure over the past couple months to have worked on a bill as prime sponsor that would be part of this package, creating the Department of Local Government and Community Affairs. Pennsylvania once had and should immediately restore a cabinet position, in our opinion, solely on meeting the needs of our local government entities. This new department will work to assist local government by making it easier for them to comply with state regulations and the requirements, including oversight of state elections. The department would be overseen by a cabinet secretary who would act as Secretary of the Commonwealth, which is, as some of you may know, a constitutional position. The department would oversee and assist counties across the state in managing elections. The department would also handle local government grants and tax credit programs transferred from the former DCED. Similar to the newly created Department of Business, Tourism, and Workforce Development, the Department of Local Government and Community Affairs would have an Office of Local Government Consultant. This role of the office would be a liaison between the department and local governments, assisting with grant applications and other issues that face our local governments and municipalities on a daily basis. The Department of Local Government and Community Affairs would be divided into a Center for Local Government, the Bureau of Ethics, the State Athletic Commission, and the Office of Local Government Consultants. And at this point in time, it's my pleasure to turn over the podium to my colleague, Representative Jonathan Fritz.
Thank you. Good morning, friends. I'm Jonathan Fritz, proud to represent the 111th Legislative District. Sincere thanks to Majority Whip Cutler for his direction and leadership, as well Representative Grove for being a team captain on this initiative. And to my colleagues that have united in this effort, much appreciation for that spirit of cooperation. The portion of the proposal that I'm proud to sponsor is the repeal of dormant and outdated boards or commissions. With the overarching theme of removing waste, this is a common sense place to start. The boards and commissions in question have not met in years, and in most instances, no longer issue reports to demonstrate any work accomplished. It boils down to this: a number of boards and commissions, 16 to be exact, fail to justify their continued existence and worth to the taxpayer. And I'm happy to name them. We have the Interstate Rail Passenger Advisory Council, the Pennsylvania Public Television Network Commission, K-9 Health Board, the Community Service Advisory Board, the Industrial Resource Center Strategic Advisory Board, the Small Business Advocacy Council, Adult Basic and Literacy Education Interagency Coordinating Council, the Advisory Committee on Probation, the Energy Development Authority, Health Careers Leadership Council, Joint Committee to Review Cost of Living, the Legislative Representative for Collective Bargaining, Lobbying Disclosure Regulations Committee, the Pennsylvania Quality Leadership Awards Council, the Tobacco Use Prevention and Cessation Advisory Committee, and the Voting Standards Development Board. During this collective effort to streamline and reinvent government, let's start with cleaning out the closet. Thank you for your time and attention. Good day. At this point in time, I'm proud to bring forth my colleague, Representative Bloom.
Thank you very much. And it is my honor to stand here with a group of Republican legislators who share the vision of protecting the taxpayers by bringing efficiency and effectiveness to our state government. In his budget, Governor Wolf once again proposed merging the Department of Health with the Department of Human Services. The unification of the two agencies would achieve savings for taxpayers while improving the delivery of services to Pennsylvanians. The proposed unification presents us with a significant opportunity to reinvent state government, streamline bureaucracy, and break down the silos that prevent agencies from serving residents most effectively. I applaud the administration's willingness to consider this proposal to merge the two agencies that would allow the Commonwealth to achieve savings while improving the quality of care provided to those in need. This legislation that I'm introducing would address the overlap and redundancies between state agencies who oversee our social safety net programs. An example of this overlap can be seen in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, Women and Infants Children Program, or WIC, and Temporary Assistance to Needy Families Program, TANF. Each program is similar in nature, and often they serve overlapping populations. Many individuals receiving WIC are also receiving SNAP due to the limited types of food and supplies that can be purchased with each. Yet SNAP and TANF are housed in the Department of Human Services, while WIC is housed in the Department of Health. WIC is distributed to individuals by check, and SNAP and TANF are distributed on electronic benefit transfer cards, or EBT cards. By merging the two agencies into the Department of Health and Human Services, the new agency can coordinate these programs to better provide service for those in need, and as a result, we can improve care while saving taxpayer money. And with that, I would like to turn it over to the hardest working man in the state legislature, Representative Seth Grove from York County.
Thank you, Steve. I just want to first thank Steve for his leadership. The first agency merger that's been introduced since the Ridge administration was done by that young man, so really appreciate your leadership, your forward thought, and moving an agenda forward that will reduce the costs of the Commonwealth as well as provide better services moving forward. I'm honored to champion the Office of Management and Budget. Think of it as the governance structure of the Commonwealth. Budget, DGS, and office administration, as well as planning and policy combined into one to ensure the governor's office has a strategic overview of all governance functions of the Commonwealth moving forward. As you've probably already heard, the administration is already moving to consolidate information technology and human resources. This falls in line with the goals and objectives of the administration moving forward, as well as who in this place would be against cost savings, finding more efficiencies, and reducing costs. That's why we codify the governor's Go Time initiative under this office as well to continue finding those cost savings moving forward. Obviously, it's a proposal in conjunction working with the governor's agenda on consolidations and merging, and I think it's a great platform of really reinventing government, reducing costs, and ensuring government programs are operating as efficiently as possible moving forward. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Majority Whip Brian Cutler, for their leadership, as well as Representative Dush, Representative Keeper, Representative Mao, Representative Tobash for joining us this morning as well. With that, open it up to any questions. None? Thank you so much, and we have press packets ready to go for you.